Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you are seeing me live or on the replay. So, today I want to talk about what happens when life goes sideways. So, you know what I mean when life goes sideways, when the water heater breaks, when your kid is sick, when the IRS is auditing you. Life is not normal and you can't do things in the regular way. Like your whole plan gets thrown out the window, right? So whenever you have those times, it's super easy to just say, oh, forget it. I can't do my eating plan now. So I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to give up. I'll start it later. But really, the truth is that we all know is that life is going to happen all the time, right? So there's never going to be a time when stuff is not going to happen. So this is why whatever you do, first, whatever plan you use, it has to be satisfying. Can't be starving yourself. It can't be eating foods that you absolutely hate all the time. It has to have variety and it has to be sustainable. Um, and also, it has to be something that you can adapt to different situations. So I was meeting with a client and he has a life that has a lot of variability. So we had to plan in some things that when life goes sideways. Okay, so here's your breakfast. Here's a couple of breakfast ideas. Here's what you're going to do when life goes sideways. Here's your lunch ideas. Here's what you do when life goes sideways. Okay, so those were the things that we planned in there. And it's similar to an airplane analogy. I remember talking to someone who was a pilot, and I said, it's kind of scary. Like, what happens if your engine just fails and you don't know where, you can't get all the way back to the airport? And he said, well, you are trained to learn where alternatives are. You could look from your airplane and find 3 places to land in an emergency. So we have to have kind of our emergency backup plan ready. So anytime you start a new plan that you want to stick to, that's an important point. What is your go-to for eating out and for quick food? Because it is not realistic to think that you are never going to eat out or you're only going to eat out at certain restaurants and that life is not going to happen. You need to have a plan for what you're going to do with quick food. Hey, hello. I'm not sure who that is because I'm with StreamYard, but I will definitely see you when I get back. So when I get back into Facebook, thanks for joining me. So some of the basic components, and we talk about this in the Balanced Body Experience, and this is something you can adapt to a lot of different situations, and we train you how to do it in the plan. We give you the tools to be able to do it. So one is to have a palm size of protein. And the other one is to have healthy fat that's like 1 or 2 thumbs of healthy fat, and then also high fiber carbs. And if you're thinking, I don't know what any of those are, jump into our free group. If you're seeing me on a Facebook business page or on YouTube, jump into our free group and then click on the featured posts. And the featured post lays out all the different components that you could put together yourself. But when we do the Balanced Body Experience, we put a lot of this together for you, and we're giving you a lot of the tools to do it for you as well. So we lay a lot of these things out. Okay, so it's super important to make sure that you plan in advance for life is going sideways. So know now, what are you going to do when life goes sideways? So where can you order out? What can you have in your pantry that you can do that will still be you'll still be satisfying. It will still have those different components of PFC, and it will be something that you can do quick. So what can you do when you're out running errands and you didn't bring anything with you and you didn't plan? So to be able to do all of those things. Now, obviously, when life goes sideways, we are stressed out. So your brain may want to run to comfort, which is sugar and processed foods and the things that you've always done. And it may be easy to just say, oh, forget it. I'm just going to go back to what I was always doing. And I'm going to start next week. I'm going to start next week. I'm going to start next week. And let me tell you, there's something waiting next week for you. Some kind of sideways is waiting next week for you. So you have to be able to do this in all life situations, right? So you need to make an agreement with your brain in advance. Just do the PFC. So if you know what that is in advance, and it's something that's kind of in the realm of what you like, you want to know what that is in advance, and then you want to get there fast. So when you're hungry, you want to make sure that you know exactly what it is that you need to do for your kind of sideways plan, and that you get there fast. Because when you're waffling, that's when you're going to talk yourself into, oh, I'm going to start next week. It does, this week, it's just this week is kind of crazy. And then you'll say, I'm going to start next week. And then guess what? Next week, something else is going to happen. And it's just going to keep going like that for months and months and years and years and years. And then pretty soon a decade goes by and you've got more health issues. So you have to be able to just get there fast, know what your plan is, and stick to it. So, and this is one of the things that we do in the Balanced Body Experience. So if you are curious about the BBE plan, that's what I call it for now, comment the word plan and I'll get that information to you. But jump in the free group, and that's in the comments if you're not already seeing this in the free group, because we give you some of the tools to do this, as well as the encouragement and the mindset training that you need as well. Okay, so I will re-air this later today so more people can see it. And I will be rolling out new fun content that will be helping you this week, or probably actually next week, so it's school vacation week this week. But let me know what you do when life goes sideways. Drop that in the comments. Okay.